Civil AccuDraw distance option. That is this tool right here in your Civil AccuDraw toolbar. Looks like two circles. Distance. This allows us to come in here and place, let's say, a cell from a certain distance A from a certain distance B. So if I come in here and I'll just use my horizontal geometry tools again and place a point, and let's say I'm going to come in here and I'll place this cell right here that says found steel right-of-way marker. First thing that you need to do is define where you want to begin from, your origin point for your first distance. To set that, hit the letter O on the keyboard, and you'll see now it's going to say select a reference point. And for this example, I'm going to use this point right here as my reference point, the end of this line. So I'll snap to it, left click to accept it, and now you'll notice that my compass is going from that point, and now I define my distance that I want to go off of it. And the distance I'm going to use for this example is 250 feet. So I'll type in 250. I'll hit enter to lock it in. And now I have to give it a second distance. But this time I'm going to use this point right here to go off of for my second distance. So to reset my origin point, I would need to hit the letter O again, and it'll say select a reference point. And this time I'm going to use this endpoint as my second reference point. So I'll snap to it, left click to accept it. And now as I move my mouse across, you'll see that it's going from that point. But the one thing that you do need to watch is whenever I set that origin point, you'll notice that my field that it went to is to the field that I had previously locked in. So what I would need to do is get down to that other field, my other distance, and I'll just hit my tab key to get down to that other field that's not locked. And now if I type in my distance to go off of that point, which on this example I'll use 350 feet, so I'll type in 350, enter to lock it in. And now as I move my mouse around, it gives me two options that it can go from, because it's going a distance around that point that I selected for point A and point B. So now you define where do you want to place it at, either at this point, or if I move my mouse I can place it at this point, because it actually gives me two different options depending on which one that I want. So I'm going to use this one as my point. I'll left click to place that point, and I'll right click to reset the tool, and I'm finished. So that's what the distance option allows you to do. It allows you to go from one distance to go off it, to a second distance, go off it, and place that cell accordingly. Or maybe to start that line at that point, you could use that distance option also. So that's what that option will allow you to do in your Civil AccuDraw tools, which is the distance option.